Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Brajavadhu Vargena Vakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatra Dharana Paraha Anarpita Charin Shirar Karunaya Vatirna Kalau Samarpayitum Munnato Jvala Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam Harihi Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandhi Pita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratu Vashachi Nandana Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jagat Mangala Advaita Mangala Gunadham Mangala Charitra Sada Mangala Jaranam.
Hare Krishna, everyone. We welcome all of you to this day 91 of Sri Gauramrita. We are feeling so happy to be again live with all of you after a long break. So before we move forward, we would like to again thank all the devotees who joined in the previous 6 sessions over the past 2 weeks. And I hope we hope that you all had enlivening and enriching programs. It was helping you, it helped you. And we are especially thankful to the devotees who helped us, like Divyangi Lalita Mataji, Prem Vikas Prabhu, and for them, especially for them to be able to coordinate this, although we had pre-recorded it, but they played it live. And for everyone, all of you who participated in this session, we are very, very grateful to you all. And of course, the services that were going on, like with Ranjani Gopika Mataji doing the quizzes and everyone participating in the quizzes, we are ever so grateful. So we'd like to congratulate and announce the names of the quiz participants from these sessions. We'd like to congratulate Hari Prasad Prabhu, Vaijayanti Lalita Mataji, Mitanjali Pradhan Mataji, Meera Bhushan Mataji, Tithi Mitra Mataji, Janeshwar Gauranga Prabhu, Varshana Chitra Mataji, Anjudi, Hare Krishna Madali Prabhu, and of course, Ranjani Gopika Mataji. Thank you all so very much for participating in the quiz session from the past 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. We request admin rights.
Yes, if you can please make Advaita as one of the admins so I can share my screen as well.
Prem Vikas Prabhu.
Okay, so today in session 91, we will continue to describe the transcendental treasure trove of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotional pastimes. We'll describe Lord Gauranga's pastimes during his South India tour.
And we will also continue to describe Lord Gauranga, how during the South India tour, today he will be arriving at Sri Simhachalam. and how Lord Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, how he takes darshan of the most beautiful Jiyada Nrsimha deity, and how the Lord manifests as Jiyada Nrsimha deity, and how did Jiyada Nrsimha get his name, the heartfelt prayers that were offered by Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu to Lord Jiyada Nrsimha, which we recite even today, following in the footsteps of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
And then we will conclude today's session by describing the Phala Stuti, the benefits that we receive by listening to these transcendental pastimes of Sri Gauranga. In our last session, we had heard how Lord Gauranga, he leaves Kurmakshetra, but then miraculously returns back. How Lord Gauranga makes his appearance back in Kurmakshetra in reciprocation of that intense desire of Vasudev to meet Lord Gauranga. How the humility of Vasudev attracts the Lord, and how Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu gives a remedy to curb pride.
Hari Hari.
So now let's continue.
Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in his Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela chapter 8, text 3, he says,
Purvarite Prabhu Gavana Korila Jiyada Nrsimha Kshetre Koto Dine Gela. According to his previous program, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went forward in his tour, and after some days he arrived at the place of pilgrimage known as Jiyada Nrsimha. Now, Srila Prabhupada, in the purport to this verse, he says that this Jiyada Nrsimha temple is situated on the top of a hill about 5 miles away from Visakhapatnam. In fact, there is a railway station on the South Indian Railway known as Simhachalam. This temple, known as Simhachala, is the best temple in the vicinity of Visakhapatnam. This temple is very, very affluent. It's a typical example of architecture of this area.
And as we can see, this is the picture of the temple grounds of Sri Simhachalam.
Then in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 8.4, it continues. Nrsimha dekhiya koila, dandavat pranali, prema veshe koila bahu, nritya gita stuti. And upon seeing this deity of Lord Nrsimha in the temple, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he offered his respectful obeisances by falling flat. And then, in ecstatic love, he performed various dances and chanted and offered different prayers. Simhachalam, which means the hill, the mountain of the lion, is situated about 16 kilometers in the north of Visakhapatnam, and it's easily accessible by local transport. In fact, the priests of the Simhachalam temple, they belong to the Sri Sampradaya. And the line that follows this temple belongs to Sri Sampradaya, and the line that follows the revered devotee and philosopher Sri Ramanujacharya. So Simhachalam is actually one of the 108 places recognized by Sri Sampradaya as Divya Deshams, which are like the spiritual places of the world which devotees should visit. And this hilltop road and the location of the Eastern Ghat ranges, they are very beautiful, very picturesque. And these hills are like densely populated with trees like pineapple, like cashew, shrubs, and mango groves. Sri Varaha Nrsimha Swami, or Jiyada Nrsimha, he has the face of Lord Varahadev, and he has a body like Lord Nrsimhadev, the body of a man, and the claws and tail of a lion. Because Simhachalam, Simha means lion, and Chalam means Achalam, means hill. So Simha Achalam. So this is Lion's Hill, the hill of Lord Nrsimhadev. Lord Varaha Nrsimha deity is here. He's properly popularly, he's known in Sanskrit as Simhadrinatha, the Lord of the Lion Hill. In fact, the Sthala Purana of Simhachalam, it recounts this history of Sri Prahlad Maharaj, his demoniac father Hiranyakashipu, in regards to this manifestation of this wonderful deity. We all know that many unsuccessful attempts were made by Hiranyakashipu to kill Sri Prahlad. As a last resort, Hiranyakashipu, he ordered his servants, go and dump Prahlad Maharaj into the sea and place a huge mountain over him. And the servants, they chose to do this at this place, Simhachalam. And Hiranyakashipu's servants, they brought Prahlad Maharaj to this place. This is like in the north of Vishakhapatnam, in this beautiful hill. That's where they dropped him. Just a few kilometers from here is the sea. They brought him and they took Prahlad, little tiny boy, 5 years old, and they threw him deep into the sea, into the water. Then they took this mountain and covered him to keep him down.
So Prahlad Maharaj, he was not at all afraid of death. His only fear was that he would forget Krishna. That was the only fear that little Prahlad had. He was not at all worried that a huge mountain was being placed upon him. So he just continued to chant the holy names of Krishna. And we all know how Krishna always protects his dear devotees. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately appeared before Prahlad at this very place. And the Lord, with his own lotus hands, he lifted the mountain from Prahlad, and he personally took Prahlad Maharaj out with his own hands, and he brought Prahlad to safety. And it is also said that since the Lord at once jumped into the sea, into the ocean to rescue Prahlad Maharaj, it is said that the Lord, because he jumped with such a force down into the ocean, that the Lord's lotus feet actually went down into the Patal Loka. So the local Sthala Purana of this place says that the darshan of the Lord's lotus feet is available only to the inhabitants of Patal Loka. So the Varaha Nrsimha deity, we cannot see the lotus feet of Varaha Nrsimha deity. So after, we all know that this attempt, also this last resort of Hiranyakashipu to harm little Prahlad was unsuccessful. And then out of his anger, then Hiranyakashipu said, oh, where is your God? Is your God here? Is he there? Is he here? So they said, yes, yes. Prahlad Maharaj said, yes. And to protect the faith of little Prahlad, the Lord appeared from the pillar. Lord Nrsimha appeared from the pillar and he killed the demon Hiranyakashipu, at the same time protecting all of the benedictions that were awarded to Hiranyakashipu by Lord Brahma. And then Prahlad Maharaj, it is said, of course, we know all the entire pastime, how then little Prahlad then was pacifying Lord Nrsimha, but then after that, after everything happened, it is said that Sri Prahlad Maharaj actually came to this very place called Simhachalam, because this is one of the places that Prahlad Maharaj realized that where the Lord performed the great miracle of protecting him personally. And here at this very place, Prahlad Maharaj prayed to Lord Nrsimha that I want to worship you here, my Lord, and I want to have darshan of you in that form that you killed my uncle Hiranyaksha, and the form that you also killed my father Hiranyakashipu. So this was it is an innocent plea that was made by little Prahlad to have darshan of the killer of his uncle and the killer of his father at the same time. So Lord Krishna, then it is of course said that Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardhan. He always reciprocates with the devotees the way they want him to be reciprocating. So just to please little Prahlad, the Lord assume the form of this unique deity, Sri Varaha Nrsimha.
This Varaha Nrsimha, he has the face of Lord Varahadev. And he has a body like Lord Nrsimhadev, which is the body of a man, and the claws and the tail of a lion. And Prahlad Maharaj then began to worship this deity, which self-manifested before him, right here. And he worshipped this deity with great devotion. In fact, he even built a small temple around this deity. And it is said that after Prahlad Maharaj handed over the kingdom to his son, Virochana, Lord Prahlad Maharaj worshipped the deity personally. He was just completely dedicated to that. Now, at the end of Satya Yuga, owing to neglect, perhaps, a huge ant hill was formed around the deity. But at the beginning of another yuga, this deity was rediscovered by Pururava, the king of the lunar dynasty, king of the moon dynasty. And this king Pururava is also mentioned in 9th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. When he was riding with Urvashi in the aerial chariot over the hills of South India, Pururava was somehow just attracted by a mysterious power to this hill of lions, Simhachalam. And King Pururava, he was a great descendant of a royalty of Vaishnavas, Vaishnava kings, Raja Rishis. So the Lord approached him as a boar. And Pururava then chased after the boar, but the Lord just couldn't catch him. Sorry, Pururava couldn't catch this transcendental boar. Then in the dream of Pururava, King Pururava, this same boar appeared and explained to him that his form of Varaha Nrsimha is on this mountain of Simhachalam. And he said, I want you to find me. So then King Pururava rediscovered this deity of Varaha Nrsimha in this place. He got 1,000 kalashas, and like the vessels of water from the river, nearby river called Gangatal. This also has a mysterious story of appearance. It said that when Mother Ganga, she saw that Lord Nrsimhadev is living right here, she appeared. Ganga Devi appeared in this area near Simhachalam, just to render service to Lord Varaha Nrsimha. And then King Pururava performed this great grand Abhishek ceremony. And this deity of Lord Varaha Nrsimha was still in a very, very angry mood. And that anger created tremendous heat, which was burning villages, nearby villages after villages. And people were surprised, what's going on? Why are our villages getting burnt? And it was revealed that it is because of the anger of Lord Nrsimhadev, Varaha Nrsimhadev, because he was covered in anthill, and then after that, he was not cooled after that. So then he told, Lord Varaha Nrsimha told that I want you to cover my body with chandana. And he told exactly how to do it. And according to that instruction, even today, the deity is worshipped in that way. Because he was very happy. He said, yes, I was covered with anthill, but I'm very happy with the service of these ants that they were keeping me cool. Now that the anthill is not there, I'm feeling very, very, there's a lot of heat, and I felt he was also feeling very angry. So then, to pacify him, this chandana is put, sandalwood, it's with 480 kgs of chandana, almost 200 pounds of chandan, sandalwood, is put on. And then one day, just one day in a year, on the auspicious day of Akshaya Tritiya, the chandan is removed and the Lord gives his darshan in the uncovered form. This original deity is situated within the depths of the temple. You can't just go and have darshan. You have to go really deep into the temple to actually have this darshan, and he's worshipped in the form of a shila, in terms of sandalwood shila, which is covering the form of the Lord, and except for one day on Akshay Tritiya, which is when the original form is unveiled, and this festival is also known as Chandan Yatra.
So the original form of the Lord, which is called as the Nija Rupa, is open only on the day of Akshay Tritiya. That is just for 12 hours only. And the night before Akshay Tritiya, the old Chandan is actually removed from the body of Lord Varaha Nrsimha. And the early hours of Akshay Tritiya, the Lord is actually offered Sahasra Ghata Abhishekam, which means Abhishek with 1,000 pots of water. Imagine 1,000 pots of water. The Lord has a grand Abhisheka. Ghata Sahasra Ghata Abhishekam. And after that, the devotees are actually allowed to have darshan of the Nija Rupa, or of the actual beauty of the self-manifested deity of Sri Varaha Nrsimha. And after the 12 hours of the Akshay Tritiya is passed, then the sandalwood paste is again anointed upon the body of the Lord. And immediately after the 12 hours is gone, the Lord is applied the sandalwood paste. And then only next year again, on the day of Akshay Tritiya, then again the darshan is again seen. So like this, the Nitya Rupa, or the normal Rupa, or the eternal Rupa of Sri Varaha Nrsimha is the darshan of when we see with the form covered with sandalwood paste for the rest of the year. So there is another deity which is known as the Vijaya Murti. Vijaya Murti means the Utsava Murti, who comes out, to give his blessings, special blessings to the devotees. And he's specially known as the name Govindaraja Swami. And that is the deity of Jiyada Nrsimha. And Sri Lochan Das Thakur, in his Sri Chaitanya Mangala, gives a very beautiful pastime of how this deity got the name Jiyada Nrsimha.
There was a farmer. His name was Punruya Goyal, who lived in this area. He was a farmer of large crops of cucumbers. And he was so insecure about the security of the cucumber that he stayed awake every night guarding it. One night, he didn't guard it because he went to sleep, and a wild boar came, devoured this bunch of cucumbers. And the next night, he said, "Whoa, who did this? This is just tremendous, terrible." And so next night, he waited with a bow and arrow with him and said, "Next time this boar comes, I will hit him." And when this boar was hit by the farmer's arrow, this Punrupa Goyal's arrows, the wild boar loudly chanted Ram and then fled to the nearby mountain cave. And this Mr. Goyal was very, very intrigued and very perplexed. So the farmer wondered that how a dull animal like a boar can chant the name of Lord Ram. Then he thought it must be the Lord disguised as a boar. So then he followed the boar and he stood outside the cave and called out, "Who are you? Who are you?" And there was no response. And he got a little afraid and was also sad. And the farmer fasted for 2 days because he thought, this is the Lord. I have hit the Lord with the arrow, and now he's upset with me. Because why would he chant? Why would this boar chant Rama? He thought, what have I done? I'm the lowest. I'm the most sinful miscreant. No one is more wretched than me. And then, feeling that compassion for the farmer, the merciful Lord spoke to him from the sky. And he said, "Well, I am the Lord himself. You've hurt me with your arrow because I ate your cucumbers. So I understand that. Don't worry, just go home. And the farmer didn't go home. He just kept on fasting. And then again, the Lord spoke from the sky, my dear farmer, why are you suffering so much for nothing? You've not committed any offense. Stop fasting. Go home. The farmer said, I've hurt you with my arrows. What's the use of my life? Even if I die, I can't escape my offense. In fact, Yamaraj, the god of death, he'll punish me by whipping me, beating me. How can I purify myself? And then the Lord replied, well, I told you, you haven't committed any offense. Don't worry, I'm unlimitedly pleased with you. And then the farmer says, okay, then if all is well on your assurance, I will give up my fear. But how do I know that I'm free from this offense of shooting arrows at you? If I can see you with my eyes, my dear Lord, then I'll be satisfied that you have really, really forgiven me. Then I'll inform the king also. And you should be the witness. If you become the witness, I'll be happy. And the Lord said, okay, all right, I'll fulfill your desire and I'll give this boon to you. I'll be your witness. You call the king and like that. So hearing this, the farmer, he just ran to the king's place. And when he came to this palace gate, he said, Mr. Goyal told the palace gatekeeper that, look, please inform the king of my this wonderful story. King will very nicely, he will like it. And then the farmer was let into the palace and he told the king the story. King was astonished. What? God took the form of a bear and boar and he spoke to you? It's really true? So the farmer said, yes, that's true. And if you doubt me, let's go there together and you will see the Lord as my witness. The king said, okay, if I hear the Lord himself give this order, then I'll become your servant for life. So then the king and the farmer, they walked to the mountain cave where the boar was staying, and the king, he felt prostrated before the cave's entrance and offered prayers to the Lord. The Lord's heart melted by these prayers to see the sincerity of the king and the humility, and the Lord said, O king, believe the words of this farmer. Now pour milk into this cave and you will attain me. That was the instruction that was given. And the king was delighted. Wow, the Lord himself is speaking. And he dutifully poured milk into the cave, and from under the ground, suddenly, a top knot of hair became visible. And realizing that this is the deity form of the Lord, everyone became blissful, started chanting, Hari, 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 and started playing musical instruments, and the milk was being poured more and more and more. As it was being poured, more and more of the Lord's transcendental form appeared. After the knot of the hair, the head appeared, the face, the chest, the arms, belly, and thighs. And they kept pouring milk, but the lotus feet was not revealed because it's all the way down in Patala, remember? So from the sky, the Lord said, you will not see my feet, so don't pour any milk. The king felt very ecstatic that I've witnessed the appearance of the Lord himself. But he also was lamenting for not being able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. And he arranged a huge festival, Mahotsava, to honor the deity with opulent food offerings, dressings, arti. And while gazing at the Lord with love and devotion, the king's heart just overflowed with satisfaction. One time, a merchant came along with two women, came there to take darshan of the deity. And after seeing the deity, the merchant paid obeisances and walked out of the temple. And as the merchant walked out of the temple, abruptly, the temple door slammed behind him, leaving the two women locked inside. And through the door, this merchant was hearing the two ladies talking to the Lord. And in great anxiety, the merchant loudly prayed. And then the merciful Lord responded by unlocking the temple door. And merchant, when the door unlocks, that time the merchant saw the most astonishing thing when he re-entered the temple. He saw that the two women had turned into stone and they were standing beside the Lord. And this merchant was feeling so fortunate. He fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord. He was praying, Lord, please give me the boon, please give me the boon. And the Lord said, what boon do you want? He said, please bless me that you will be named after me. The Lord said, what is your name? He said, my parents gave me the name Jiyada. So my Lord, I desire that you take this name. So this is the story behind the deity named Jiyada Nrsimha, which is the Utsava Murti in front of Varaha Nrsimha Swami. And in this way, this description is given by Lochan Das Thakur, who is singing the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
And Lord Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he visited during this South India Yatra in the year 1510 AD during the South India tour. And this famous Arati song that we sing every day, Sri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai 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 Sri Nrsimha. This mantra was actually sung by Lord Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu himself at this very place of Sri Simhachalam. This is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami in Madhya Leela in chapter 8 and text 5, when Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu saw the beautiful deity of Sri Jiyada Nrsimha, of Simhachalam Nrsimhadev, of Sri Varaha Nrsimha deity. This is the verse he sang. Sri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jaya Jaya Nrsimha, Praladesha Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Pringa. Which means, all glories to Nrsimhadev, all glories to Nrsimhadev, who is the Lord of Prahlad Maharaj, and like a honeybee, is always engaged in beholding the lotus-like face of the goddess of fortune. Then in the next verse, in 8.6, Lord Chaitanya, when he saw this beautiful deity, as we see in the picture shown, that the deity has a beautiful face of Lord Varahadev and the body of Lord Nrsimhadev. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw this beautiful deity, this is the next verse that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu sang to Lord Nrsimhadev.
Ugropyanugra evayam
Swabhaktanam Keshari Keshari Vasvapotana Anyeshamugra Vikrama.
Although very ferocious, the lioness is very kind to her cubs. Similarly, although very ferocious to non-devotees like Hiranyakashipu, Lord Nrsimhadev is very, very soft and kind to devotees like Prahlad Maharaj.
Hari Hari.
Hey Mato Nana Shloka, Pori Stuti Koila, Nrsimha Seva Kamala, Prasadani Dila. In this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited different verses from the Shastra. The priest of Lord Nrsimhadev then brought garlands and remnants of the Lord's food and offered them to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purvavat kono vipre, koila nimantran, sei ratri taharahi, korila gaman. As usual, a Brahmana, a local Brahmana, offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu an invitation, and the Lord passed the night in the temple and then commenced his tour again.
And it is said, Srila Prabhupada writes that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur visited Simhachalam in the years 1905 and then again in 1930. And in order to commemorate the visit of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu to Simhachalam on 27th December 1930, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had the lotus footprints of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu installed here at this very temple. So the footprints of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu are at the main entrance of this temple. And Srila Prabhupada, our very own founder, Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he visited Simhachalam during his stay at Vishakhapatnam between 17th to 22nd February in the year 1972. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jaro Chaitanya Charitamrita Kare Krishna Das.
Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate this Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps.
So this deity that we see here now is the deity of Jiyada Nrsimha that is manifested in Germany near Munich. This place is very, very beautiful, and the entire temple is called as Jiyada Nrsimha Temple. And this deity, he is residing on a little hill that we had the wonderful fortune of visiting and taking darshan. And on Sundays, every Sundays, the Lord has an open abhishek. Open abhishek means that generally every day when the Lord takes abhishek, is given bath, it is behind closed doors, no one can see. But only on Sundays, the devotees are very merciful. Somehow the Lord is very merciful that he takes his abhishek in with open doors. And this is again the Utsava Murti of Sri Nrsimhadev with Sri Devi and Bhudevi on either side. The lotus feet of Sri Jiyada Nrsimhadev at New Simhachalam. And this is the deity form of Nrsimhadev. So considering Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda, our life and soul, we listen to these transcendental pastimes of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
Anyone who faithfully listens to this pastime of Jiyada Nrsimha, Sri Nrsimha, Varaha Nrsimha Swami, and who derives joy from listening to this pastime will indeed be blessed with Lord Chaitanya's direct association. In fact, a sincere listener who hears this glorious pastime will swim in the ocean of devotional love. Lord Nrsimhadev, he's manifesting here as Prasanna Nrsimha, actually, because he's very happy with the services of Sri Prahlad Maharaj, and such a sincere listener will constantly be under the protective and loving shield of Lord Nrsimhadev, will definitely see the beautiful moonlight face of Lord Chaitanya directly. Sri Gauranga, kono kono bhagavan, dekhibare par.
Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's pastimes are being performed even now. Whoever is blessed by the Lord to see can see, while others cannot see.
Ekhane rohilo grantha, amrita lahari, bodon bhari ekbar, bolo hari hari, hari hari.
Hari Hari. So the japa tip for today is,
I am out of my mind and in my heart, I'm fully present and attentive to the holy names when I chant. This is the affirmation that we should meditate on, which means, of course, when we say I'm out of my mind, it means that I'm crazy, but it also means that I'm out of my mind and into my heart. When we are chanting, we are trying to control our mind, but here it says, this affirmation says, I'm not in my mind at all.
Mm.
I'm actually in the heart
Tell me that.
where the soul resides. It's difficult to control the mind when I chant, but one time one devotee told Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, when I chant, it's so difficult to control my mind. So Prabhupada said, mind? You chant with your tongue, you hear with your ear. Where is the question of the mind? And this means that Prabhupada is saying, don't chant to control the mind. Chant with your heart. Forget the mind. Chant, hear, and chant and hear from the heart, not the mind. Which means chant and hear with feeling, not just some thoughts, just with sincere feeling. Because feeling is the essence of the prayers. Feeling is what brings us into the present. Feeling is what can absorb us in complete chanting.
So, we all can experience that anytime we probably hearing a class or when we're watching a movie, perhaps, if the movie or the class is very good, we become so absorbed because, we feel something, we start to feel something, we start to experience those things. And that's how we are getting absorbed in watching that movie, experiencing it directly. So the mind is actually not even required while we are chanting. Srila Prabhupada made it very clear, where is the question of the mind? So when we are actually chanting, the only thing that is required is our feeling. Because when we are praying, it is only the feeling that we get.
So then we may ask, then what about thoughts? What is the difference between feeling and thoughts? For example, if we meet someone who we sensed is not trustworthy, for example, that came as a feeling, I'm not able to trust this person. It's not a thought, it's a feeling that came. Or if we feel happy seeing someone, it comes as a feeling, it doesn't come as a thought. So similarly, when we chant and pray, we chant and pray with feeling of humility, feeling of being grateful, not deserving this opportunity, but still making the best use of this opportunity. It's not a thinking process. When we are chanting, it's not a thinking process. Thinking what should we think while we are chanting? We are not supposed to think anything. We are supposed to feel the gratitude, feel love for the Lord. It's feel happy. And it's when we pray while feeling, then the absorption will come. Imagine when you are seeing a movie, what different feelings come into your mind, that we are so absorbed for 3 hours in a movie or 1.5 hours in a movie theater. We're just glued to seats. We don't even know where we are. Why? It's not because we are thinking, it's because we are feeling. And in the same way, we should chant with feeling.
So with this mood of feeling and with a heart full of feeling, we now dedicate our chanting, the kirtan. We are dedicating it to Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. We dedicate it to our dearest Anjudi's mother, who is very serious at the moment. We dedicate this chanting for our very dearest brother, and we dedicate the chanting for our very dearest Krishna Sharanam Prabhu and Mataji. We dedicate the kirtan for our dearest Amrita Radhika, for AJ, for Nikki, and the wonderful family of our dearest Amrita Radhika. We dedicate the kirtan for Jamuna Ras and family, for Gayatri Mataji, and for our dear Kajal's father as well. May Lord Nrsimhadev grant protection and fearlessness to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Tasmai Shri Namo Vishnu Pada Krishna Krishna Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanandi Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramrita Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Vishvatari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sri Jiyada Nrsimha ki jai, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So yes, we will be sharing this in a minute. We'll just announce the quiz session. And till then, Premvikas Prabhu, you can get the video ready that we have. If you can just get that ready, we'll just announce the quiz and then we'll do the video.
First, what does Simadrinath mean?
What is the only fear of Sri Prahlad Maharaj?
Third, what does Prahlad Maharaj pray to Lord Nrsimha?
Fourth, who rediscovered Varaha Nrsimhadev deity?
Fifth, how many kilograms of sandalwood paste are applied to Lord Varaha Nrsimha?
What is the verse Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu sang in front of Lord Varaha Nrsimhadev deity?
Seventh, what is the Phala Stuti of listening to these transcendental pastimes?
And the last question is, what is the japa affirmation for today? Wonderful questions, dearest Ranjani Gopika. So before we open up the lines, just a quick 2 videos that we want to share from Simhachalam, from Germany, the Abhishek of Lord Nrsimhadev. We wanted to share this beautiful video with all of you. Right.
This is the temple of Jiyada Nrsimha in Germany. And at 6 a.m. in the morning, they do this Abhishek. Of course, there's Mangalarti at 4:30 and the devotees chant, and at 6 a.m.
Tinamma.
Okay, we can have the next video, please. We can see this Jiyada Nrsimha Dev is very, very, very merciful. we had such a wonderful experience. Now the next, when the curtains open for the Darshanarti is also very beautiful. There's a lion's roar that they actually play. And then there is the Ashtotara Shatanam, the 108 names of Lord Nrsimhadev chanted every day. Very beautiful Darshanarati of Lord Nrsimhadev, Jiyada Nrsimha. Here it is. Jai. Thank you very much, Divyangi and Prem Prabhu, for sharing these wonderful videos. We're very grateful to both of you. Now we can open up the lines for any questions, comments, realizations, reflections. And we felt so blessed that Lord Nrsimhadev allowed us to see him at Simhachalam in Germany while we were there the past 2 weeks. And lo and behold, that we were able to see Simhachalam Jiyada Nrsimha. And here we are, the first session that we are doing is on Jiyada Nrsimhadev at Simhachalam, where Mahaprabhu visited. So we feel that, Lord Nrsimhadev and Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu is somehow very pleased with all of us that he has allowed us this darshan. Jai, Hare Krishna. So if we can please open up the lines. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji. Gauramrita, my humble obeisances. Oh, glories to Srila Prabhupada. I wanted to thank you so much for dedicating the Ranjan to my family and to myself. I'm feeling a lot better, and Tristan is all the way well. So I'm so grateful to you, so much grateful to you, and so happy to see you very much. So happy you're back.
And you sound as chirpy as before. So we are so happy that you're feeling so better.
My voice is not back. My voice is not
We
back.
continue to pray for your speedy recovery and for everybody's recovery in his family.
I love you so much.
Love you too. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
So nice to see you again.
Hare Krishna.
Very, very wonderful class. Nice chapa tips. I have one question. It might sound a little stupid, but I just want a little clarification. You said you were in Germany and you saw Simhachalam?
Yes.
So is there a temple there, or
Yes,
is it the same temple is in Germany? I'm confused now. Is it in India or is it...
No, in Germany, there is, in the middle of the hills, there is an ISKCON temple. They call it ISKCON New Simhachalam.
Oh, okay.
And there is the deity of Jiyada Nrsimha that Kishore Abhishek. The deity of Nrsimhadev, they named as Jiyada Nrsimha. But the original is in Simhachalam near Visakhapatnam.
In India.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification.
Sorry for the confusion.
No. It's my stupidity. I should. But I said, I saw this beautiful temple. Is it in Germany or what? But then it's okay.
Yeah, it's a farm community in Germany, and it is the only deity that they have.
Oh, really? Wow.
And then Srila Prabhupada, of course.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Very beautiful temple.
It's so nice you could go to Germany and go on a yatra.
Yes. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. I'm very, very happy to see both of you again, and wonderful association of both of you, Mataji and Prabhuji. And last 6 classes you recorded, it was so wonderful and very instructive, and so many lessons to learn from those classes even. So thank you for those. And I also told Pranvikash Prabhu for arranging everything when you are not here, but it was so good. And today's class was very wonderful, Mataji and Prabhuji, because I don't know about these all Nrsimha Dev, the Varar Nrsimha Dev, and you told about this Jiyada Nrsimha in Germany temple. So it was so good to hear today's class even. Thank you so much, and the wonderful japa tips today. Thank you so much for everything, Mataji and
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Thank you.
And thank you for your association. I'm very, very happy to see both of you. And wonderful Kirtan.
Thank you.
Jai.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
so
you.
lively, so lively.
The Kirtan is one of my best tunes. I haven't heard the
Yes.
Kirtan. I also have very nice.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Mataji and Prabhuji.
Thank you.
And we are praying for the Gurudev. He just recover very soon. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Dandavat pranams.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Good to see you back. And you are so fortunate to see Jiyada Nrsimha Bhagwan in Germany. That too, it was very nice. Lot of new information I didn't know. But thank you for sharing all the stories about Nrsimha Bhagwan, Nrsimha Badev. So thank you so much, Mataji. Very
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We pray that Mataji is feeling better.
Well, she is still in pain. So, but we are praying just like you, for
We
her.
will be continuing to very
Yes.
intensely pray for her. We are praying for her. too.
Grateful. Nrsimha.
Hare Krishna. Please take care, Mataji. We are praying for you. We are praying for you.
हरे कृष्णा जी काला सुधा माता जी जी अद्वैत प्रभु जी कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रील गुरुदेव की जय श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय
Vrinda
माता जी
Gopika Mataji. Hari Hari.
श्री श्री नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय। हम सच्चे हृदय से श्री श्री नरसिंह देव को प्रार्थना करते हैं कि 3rd और 4th सेशन में ही हम वापस 200-300 माता जी इंडिया की और एब्रॉड के आ जाएंगे एज यूजुअल माता जी। नॉट ओनली वी आर हियरिंग माता जी बट अवर ऑल फैमिली मेंबर इज हियरिंग कृष्ण कथा कृष्ण कथा कृष्ण कथा। द बिग स्माइल केम इन माय डॉटर्स फेस and because of IT working so much stress Mataji, and when they hear Krishna Katha we can see the real happiness in their face Mataji। श्री श्री नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय। शब्दों में वर्णन नहीं कर सकते माताजी। बहुत आनंद हुआ कि आपने चतुर्मास के पहले दिन से ही आपने स्टार्ट किया कृष्ण कथा कृष्ण कथा कृष्ण कथा। श्री श्री नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय। अनंत कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम टू एजी काला सुधा माता जी, एजी अद्वैत चंद्र प्रभु जी। And every day my daughter and me hearing एजी Jayapataka Maharaj Vani from last 2 years Mataji, praying for Jayapataka Maharaj also Mataji। कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम। सो हैप्पी माताजी। शब्दों में तो वर्णन नहीं कर सकते पर बहुत आनंद हुआ। वापस रूम झूम हमारा फैमिली डांस करेगा विद इन 2 or 3 सेशन। हरि हरि गौरांगा।
हमें
दंडवत
बहुत
बेटा।
अच्छा लगा कि you have given us your association, Mataji. हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा that you are back and we are feeling so blessed in your association. And actually we are going to be doing a new form of kathas from this, especially this Chaturmas, that one day on Mondays, every Mondays we will do Gauramrita, this continuation of Gaura Katha.
Yes Mataji।
And then on Tuesdays,
We'll do the Charanamrita, where we will discuss like a series on Shikshashtakam or Upadeshamrita or different small
जय
books, small
हो।
and different bhajans also, like different ashtakam,
Gurvashtakam.
Gurvashtakam, Damodar Ashtakam, so many different ashtakams. We will be discussing on those. And then on third day, on Wednesday,
we will do different Utsavamrita, which means the different festivals that are coming in the coming week, and the appearance and disappearance of different great devotees. We'll be discussing about them. So
Jai
you
Ho
get to
Gopinath
know the
ki.
glories of the festivals that are coming in the coming weeks.
so
Thank you.
we pray for your continued association, for all of your
Oh
continued
Radhe,
association.
koti dandat pranam. We are praying that we all will get your association and blessing, Mataji. धीरे धीरे 1 2 3 सेशन में वापस हमारा पूरा फैमिली आ जाएगा, Mataji. Hari Hari Gauranga, koti dandat pranam. Even not only in abroad, Mataji, India, I have seen that those who are working, they get up 5:30 and they hear. So this is the potency of Vaishnavas association and blessing. Thank you, Mataji. Koti dandat pranam to both of you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Koti dandat pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. To Sri Guru Sri Prabhupada and Gurudev, hope you both are doing good and back again. We are happy to see both of you. And thank you for giving us new Simhachal Darshan from Germany and taking us to India's Simhachalam as well. So we glad to hear from both of you. It is so nectar. So we understood the history, how it has formed. Why the deity is called as Jiyada Nrsimha Dev as well, and Prahlad Mach story as well. So it is very wonderful, and the bhajan also wonderful. The chapati also so wonderful. Yeah, as Mataji told that we feel we get your association, and for the last 6 section, so it is very nectar. So it is helpful to control our mind. So that is very, very important for everyone. And Mataji, one realization of that, I said whatever you heard from you both to one Mataji here in Chennai. She told to her friend, everyone, whatever you said. So it is going on like that. And they are saying to someone else like that it is going on. So whatever it is, all credit goes to you both. Because of you, I came to know how to control those things, and that you gave 3 examples, the intention and the action. So that example is very, very nice. So I shared them. It is all going still. I don't know where it is going still now, but thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Prabhuji Mataji, I have only one question in this session regarding this session. Like you told, that farmer brought back the king and doing the milk abhishekam. So the deity, Lord revealed himself in the deity form. So is it about Varaha and Nrsimha form, or it is only the Nrsimha form? So the merchant came back and asking the Lord to asking a boon, right? Include my name.
Yes.
So so it is a Nrsimha form, or both Varaha form and Nrsimha form?
It is the Varaha Nrsimha form.
Okay, Mataji.
His face is of Varahadev. His body is of Nrsimhadev with the tail and claws.
Okay, Mataji. Okay. That understood. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for your wonderful session, both of you. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We're very grateful to the Facebook comment.
YouTube live comments.
Yeah, YouTube live comments as well. Comment from Jamuna Mataji. You love the Japa advice, Japa tip. Thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you. And we are very grateful to everyone for their wonderful comments. If you have any questions, please do share, even from the YouTube platform or from the Facebook platform.
And please, we request you to please subscribe and share and hit the bell icon for notification about new videos.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya
Patitanam Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Thank you, Mataji Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji Prabhuji. Dandavat
Thank you,
pranam.
Mataji Prabhuji. Koti dandat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada
Jai.
ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.